What's up, YouTube? Brendan from Market Makers. Guys, today's special treat, we're going to look at Wyckoff and XRP because I want to answer a key question for you guys, right? How are we going to know if accumulation box here flips to redistribution? XRP did this once already. I want to show you what it looks like, okay? As you guys know, for all the new subs, we got hundreds of new subs. Guys, watch the last couple videos. You'll catch up on all the Wyckoff, but real quick, key concepts. Wyckoff price cycle is how I track Bitcoin. I trade it with Fibonacci. And what we're doing here is DARVAS boxes. And you can see we have reaccumulation distribution down to markdown, accumulation, reaccumulation distribution down to markdown. And currently we are in accumulation. Not a lot to talk about the price, guys, because as you guys know that have been watching this channel, Bitcoin's doing exactly as we predicted it would do, and we predicted it early, like 2 weeks ago, okay? So we're doing exactly what we did. We predicted this test of our bottom, and now price is just hovering. This is a weekly time frame, so let's go ahead and go forward. The daily time frame is more interesting. Guys, we've been talking about the 55,233, the EMA death cross. It happened right before the fib time. Cross, really got the good cross here on the fib time, okay? Predictably had this for a couple weeks now. And of course, we got our down candle, the phi summation series, the 8-bar phi summation series, which is a measure of the down thrust candle from the previous accumulation cycle to this one. The down thrust candle to where the bar pivoted and started to sell off, okay? So that's what we did. Everything tracked beautifully with all the phi tool set. Really, really happy about that outcome. And guys, the reason I'm not concerned about the price action, because as you guys know that watch this channel, if we grab a fib retracement tool to our down thrust candle in the reaccumulation box and pull it up to the up thrust candle from the previous all-time high, as you can see, we held the 1 fib. If you do the same thing over here, the reaccumulation box to the current all-time high, Bitcoin price action is currently holding the 1 fib. Every reaccumulation box has held the 1 fib so far in the price action. So for me, it's not about being bullish or bearish. It's about holding the market structure together. And right now, we are still accumulating. We are in the Wyckoff accumulation cycle unless we lose that key support at 39,596. And I'll show you what that looks like on XRP, okay? So again, here we are, and this is the daily time frame. This is Bitcoin. This is Wyckoff. And as you guys know, here's the 1 fib. Once again, you can see it here, holding the 1 fib. Our death cross right there. Fully expect price to come down even further and possibly test, once again, that bottom, okay? And if it tests that bottom, we could see some bullish candles come up, a type 2 reaction. If we roll over further, testing this landing zone, the PRZ, price reversal zone, of this pattern, getting a type 2 reaction and candles coming up. That's a possibility. So let's look at this. So right now, this is where Bitcoin's at. And again, this is boring to me because as you guys know, we've already been talking about this and predicted this. So let's look at XRP because once again, what we want to know, what a lot of people want to know is what will this look like if it does flip to distribution, right? If it flips to distribution and Bitcoin has to come down and accumulate at a lower level, what would that look like? Let's go enter XRP. I have this chart posted in our room. Guys, once you learn these elements, by the way, you won't need to label every single thing. None of my charts look like this unless I'm showing them on YouTube or showing them in the room. I label the key elements like the climax, the reaction, and then I just walk through it because I already know the steps. They all repeat. Whether I have this on gold, I have this on silver, I have this on Tesla, I have this on Bitcoin and altcoins, okay? This is how I trade. I take Wyckoff structure and then I marry it to Fibonacci looking for support and resistance, trend trading, fib pattern trading. If you guys like how that sounds, check out our link in the video description. You have to, I saw a lot of comments, people having problems. You have to download Discord, my friends. You got to download Discord and they email you to verify your account. So then you click, you open the email, verify your account, then you click our link and then we'll see you in the room. Love to see you guys there. We got over 6,000 people in our Discord. And we have a free side, guys. So if you just want to come over, we talk on the free side too. If you want to come over and check it out, appreciate if you do that. All right, so let's look at this, guys. XRP. Let's just start the buying climax, okay? This is back in April 2021. Buying climax very clearly defined, right? Again, look at your shadows on your candles. Hard rejection wick. What does that mean? Supply being dumped on you. You have an instant show of weakness. This gives you your automatic reaction, which establishes your floor, okay? So let's go ahead and mark this off. So we have buying climax is our ceiling. Automatic reaction is our floor. And what happens? You pump back up for a secondary test. Look how much lower this is in your buying climax. Again, not a good sign. Some elements of being in a distribution box. You have to understand any box can flip from accumulation to distribution, from distribution to accumulation. It's about the steps and holding key support or breaking key resistances, okay? So it's the same thing. So what happens here? We fall out the bottom. Now you could say, well, couldn't that just be the down thrust? It could be down thrust, but these are daily candles, and look how much deeper this retraced, okay? So again, you have to look at the price action. Price pumps back up, you make another up thrust, which gives you, many times I've said this, whenever you see up thrust, oftentimes followed by a strong sign of weakness, and then you get pumped back up, another up thrust, again, rejection wicks on your up thrust. Another basic TA concept, guys, is what do you have here? There's your high, you have a lower high, a lower high, and then you have your last test of support, okay? Your last test for supply, and then you get the dump. That's when the hammer is thrown down. Preliminary test of support. Why is it preliminary test of support? Because it lines up with these candles over here. You're trying to hold price. These are daily candles. You'll see more price action on a 4-hour time frame, but it's too many candles to show you here on YouTube, okay? And so from there, we get a strong sign of weakness, our selling climax candles, okay? You see the selling climax candles? So the cycle repeats itself over and over again. We have our selling climax, we have our ceiling, and then we have our base. So let's go ahead and mark this off again. So I want you guys to see what the difference is here, because this was a failed accumulation box. Grab my eraser. Grab the raise here. Automatic reaction is our ceiling. Selling climax candles are base. Again, this is kind of like a modified DARVAS box. It would also be commonly called what, guys? A dead cat bounce, okay? Now keep in mind, XRP up here is $1.97. It went down, even though this doesn't look like a big decline. You're like, is that really that big of a decline? This is 65 cents down here on your selling climax, okay? 65 cents. $1.97 to 65 cents. Yes, it's a massive decline. You are in a different trading range, okay? So you have your selling climax, you get your automatic reaction, demand stepping in, gives you your ceiling, your secondary test, you're retesting a new base here, and then you come back up, you get an up thrust candle, instant sign of weakness. Once again, your sign of weakness. This is the difference between an accumulation box and a dead cat bounce. Look at this. So instead of holding your key support, your last test of supply, your preliminary test of support, they're kind of overlapped. Again, if you're looking at this on a smaller time frame, they would look more independent potentially. And let's zoom in so you can see the steps a little bit better. And then what happens? You don't hold your base, you fall right through it, and now you're in another accumulation range down here. And I want to show you the stark contrast between these two, okay? So you have your selling climax candle. Once again, you see your shadow, your rejection here on the candle, demand stepping in, automatic reaction giving your ceiling, secondary test establishing your base. So let's go ahead and denote these, guys. Let's mark these off so you can see the difference of what happened here. Get rid of this. Get rid of this. All right. Selling climax. Automatic reactions are ceiling. So you guys seeing some elements repeat themselves over and over again. Secondary test. And what do we have here, guys? We have up thrust. Up thrust give you what? Here's another up thrust popping through our trading range. Up thrusts usually are followed by a sign of weakness. And look what the sign of weakness does. Brings you down, holding your support from your selling climax to your spring, sign of strength, your last point of support outside of the trading range. Good place to open a long or a good place to add to an open position. You're back up, going back again into a buying climax. You have just exited your accumulation box, and now you're back into a potential distribution box. So do you see the difference here of what happened? over here, you fell through your key support structure, okay? In your distribution box, you fell through your key support structure. Here, you fell through your key support structure. You went down in the markdown, and then you formed a new accumulation box, and you repeated the same steps over and over. The difference being, of course, this time you held your key support structure. Okay, so when you hold your support structure, that behooves you, it behooves price to potentially get bullish momentum and break out of your trading range and complete the following steps to enter the next box. So let's go ahead and get rid of these lines, and let's look at the distribution box, and let's get a glimpse of where XRP is right now. Okay, because a lot of people want to know, is XRP going to have a run? What's it doing? Well, I can't answer all those questions, but I can tell you what it's doing in Wyckoff, okay? This gets all of it in view. I hope this is big enough. I know a lot of people watch YouTube on their phone like me, but I think you should be able to see all this. Let me shrink this in a little bit more. There. Okay. All right. So elements repeat themselves, guys. Buying climax, automatic reaction, secondary test of the ceiling. So let's go ahead and mark these off, okay? We're just going to use trend lines here, okay? Normally I'd be checking these with fibs, but this would be an hour-long video if I did that. So let's go ahead and do buying climax, automatic reaction. There you go. There's your trading range. Now, look at some of the elements that repeat themselves. Do you think you're in a distribution box or an accumulation box? And don't cheat and look off to the right. So far, like I said, the entrance into a potential distribution box is your buying climax. You could always flip this into reaccumulation to move back up, right? But just as a default, after a strong sign of strength, if you get a buying climax and then a sign of weakness, you're potentially in a distribution box, okay? So you have your ceiling, you have your floor, you retested your ceiling here, you retested your floor, then you get your up thrust, right? You get two up thrusts this time outside of your trading range, instant huge bar sign of weakness. Now look at your trend line. See how it's being used as support? Look at your trend line, but you knife through it, right? You knife through it several times. And then this is a danger zone warning sign, okay? Look at this. You fell through your support level. You fell through your basic structure of your distribution box. Now remember, what is that? So when you're testing support, the reason, again, common knowledge thing in TA is the more you test support, the weaker it gets. Why is that? Because you're filling buy orders, okay? There's not going to be as many buyers there the more times you retest it potentially, meaning the price would have to come down lower to hit those new buy orders, okay? So price came down lower, you got back above, again, look at your trend line, you got back above it. This is the volatility range in the box. And then here you have your secondary test, and basically it's an up thrust, even though it's not exiting the trading range, but you can see you got your supply being dumped on the candle. Look at that big down move, your sign of weakness. Once again, exiting what, guys? Your trading range. Clearly a distribution box. Your last test of support brings you down to your selling climax candle. So all those buyers that got filled here, where's the next set of buyers? It's the selling climax candle. Do you see these steps? They just keep repeating over and over. That's why Wyckoff seems very complex until you really understand the fundamentals of Wyckoff. Everybody likes to download that Google image with the schematic of what price does, and then they lay it on top of charts. I see it all over TradingView. That's not how you trade with Wyckoff. You have to understand the price method. The schematic is not going to marry up to individual assets that have different fundamentals and different levels of volatility. Okay, you got to understand the price cycle. So once again, guys, we fell from up here, $1.41, selling climax bottom, 59 cents. 58, just under 59 cents, okay? So again, huge markdown again, whatever that is, 70+% again, clearly in a new trading range. So let's see if we are in redistribution again, or are we in accumulation? And to do this, guys, we're gonna do the same thing. Selling climax candle, huge demand steps in, right? Let's mark our selling climax candle. You get your automatic reaction establishing your ceiling. You get your secondary test for your base. You can see you're trading in this range. Now you had a big sell-off here, so you had a long shadow on this candle. So you got a big healthy range here right now. But you can see this, you have your up thrust, okay? And what happens from your up thrust typically in the Wyckoff price method outside of your trading range? You instantly find a sign of weakness, right? Sign of weakness. What's the difference here, guys? You didn't fall out the bottom. you didn't fall out the bottom. Your previous cycle, your previous accumulation cycle, you held it as well. You have to hold your key support structure to have an accumulation box, which is what Bitcoin's doing. And I showed you just this over here, selling climax, automatic reaction. You held your key support structure and then you were able to move up. Over here, you did not do that. Selling climax, you fell through your key support structure, okay? This was your dead cat bounce for XRP. Bitcoin hasn't done this yet because Bitcoin just basically fell apart when it fell apart, okay? So this is what we're looking at. This is XRP, and as of right now, the difference here, the selling climax candle, your shadow is much tighter. But over here, it's very deep. So you got a big range in here. So, you could probably, again, play with your fibs, see where your levels are, what fibs you're actually retracing off of if you're an XRP person, and see what levels you're tracing off of and probably find a better bottom for you because this is a big range right here. This is what current price is 75 cents and this is down here at 59 cents. So that's a big range. I would tighten this up if I was trading this, okay? Probably using this as maybe the down thrust candle at 69 cents and making that a tighter trading range for myself. So this is how you track with Wyckoff, guys. And this is how I trade. I trade with the best practices of the greats. Gann, Gartley, Wyckoff, Livermore. That's how we like to trade in the room with Fibonacci married to it. Guys, check us out. Love to see you guys in the room. Thank you so much for watching this video. And as long as Bitcoin, I always do this, start talking, as long as Bitcoin holds this key support level, 39,596, we are in accumulation, my friends. Every single accumulation box has held the 1 fib. So just wait and see what happens. Hopefully we'll get our bullish momentum. All the markets dumped hard today, 1.5 to 2%. Bitcoin did not dump that hard. There's some momentum here, guys. There's some strength here. Let's wait and see how this plays out. Don't panic until you have to panic. Another video coming tomorrow, guys. Talk soon. Happy trading.